last year was the date all of the Epstein files were required by law to be released. But as the federal government always says about your tax forms, repayments, and court appearances, better late than never.
The Department of Justice releasing its remaining documents from the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche saying the records will be posted throughout the day, including more than 2,000 videos, more than 180,000 images, some of the material so explicit that to verify being an adult before you can actually access it.
Well, that's comforting. Good to know our Department of Justice is taking its security cues from online vape shops, because nothing says impenetrable firewall quite like having to click yes. Fun fact, if you click no, Matt Gaetz gets an alert on his phone. And isn't it nice that our DOJ, which has spent the last year doing everything in their power to cover up a pedophile ring, are finally focused on the children? I just think it's sweet. But let's hear what Todd Blanche has to say.
Now, I want to talk for a few minutes about the department's document identification and review protocols. It consisted of multiple layers of review and quality control designed to ensure compliance under the act and protect victims.
Well, that's honestly a good thing.
Includes you there, Mr. Birdman.
The last thing they need is to deal with the heartache of having their names.
Don't do it.
We're now hearing from some Epstein survivors, though, who say their names appear unredacted
Don't
from
do
other
it.
documents, despite assurances directly from DOJ that no personally identifiable information about victims would be released.
Hey, at least they took their time and still fucked it up. Now, obviously, one of the biggest criticisms of this entire process has been that the DOJ has done anything and everything to protect dear leader from culpability. But Mr. Blanche reiterated today that nothing could be further from the truth.
We did not protect President Trump. We didn't protect or not protect anybody. I mean, I think that there's a hunger or a thirst for information that I do not think will be satisfied by the review of these documents. And there's nothing I can do about that.
Nothing? I can think of one thing, which is release all the files. Oh, and also, maybe not doing this could help?
It appears that at least a couple of the documents that we're talking about here have been removed since they were posted earlier by the Justice Department. We don't know why that is.
At this point, it's just embarrassing that the DOJ thinks they can post files online, remove them, and the internet won't notice. What's next, Blanche? Keeping them under wraps by taking them to a Coldplay concert? Some of the files which were removed are all about Donald Trump, and they are truly disturbing. One allegation was that a woman was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump 35 years ago in New Jersey. In another allegation, Donald Trump is accused of regularly paying a 13-year-old to perform sex acts on him in 1984. And in another, it states that Trump and Epstein had calendar girl parties at Mar-a-Lago where girls were auctioned off and then assaulted by them. Gee, I can't imagine who would ask to have those files taken offline. What makes the Epstein files and this administration's blatant cover-up of them so offensive is that this isn't just about one billionaire who acted alone. Besides Ghislaine Maxwell, it is clear that multiple other men were involved in the abuse of these young girls. But, like the files themselves, it might be a little while before those names come to light.
Is the public going to learn the identities of the men who abused the girls with the information that you're releasing? And if
Long
not,
timer.
why not? And then I have a quick follow-up.
You just baked in an assumption in your question that I have never said and I don't know to be true. Is the public going to learn about men that abuse these girls? And what does that mean? I mean, I understand what that means.
Wow, Todd Blanche really pretending like it's his first day on the job. Abuse? Girls? You're saying there's some kind of sex trafficking ring? How could a physical ring be big enough for that? And if they're trafficked, doesn't that mean they're actually not moving? Sorry, Todd, if the world isn't buying it.
There's this built-in assumption that somehow there's this hidden tranche of information of men that we know about that we're
What's the
covering
timer?
up, that we're choosing not to prosecute. That is not the case. I don't know whether there are men out there that abuse these women. If we learn about information and evidence that allows us to prosecute them, you better believe we will. But I don't think that the public or you all are going to uncover men within the Epstein files that abuse women, unfortunately.
Well, that really flies in the face of what your current FBI director
Here we
has
go,
been
buddy.
saying. Put on your big boy pants and
We got
let's know
this.
what the pedophiles are.
See,
That's
look
right.
what happens when you share,
Keeping
people.
his eye on you. As for what the other eye is doing,
Play nice.
I couldn't say. But sorry, that clip is from way back in 2023, before Cash worked for Trump. Back when he was
Careful, buddy.
demanding that our elected officials put on their big boy pants. Here he is more recently.
You've seen most of the files.
Whoa!
If any, did Epstein
I was gonna die.
too, besides himself.
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals, and the information we have again is limited.
So the answer is no one.
For the information that we have.
Guess they didn't have any big boy pants in Cash's size. But I guess Todd Blanche is right. Unfortunately, we may never uncover the names of men who abuse women. But with today's release, we will uncover names of men who tried to convince the world that they didn't even know who this Epstein guy was.